Talking Tech with Mr. Page. This unit is on digital systems. This one's for 3-4 students, so come in, let's have a look. This one's looking at digital systems. Now, digital systems are things that are involved with the computer. So it could be the hardware, so things that are hard, but then it also could be the software, so the things that are in the computer. Now, with 3-4s, you guys go a little bit further and you look into peripheral devices, so things that connect into the computer, so like keyboards and the headphones and so on. So what I would suggest is you might want to get some post-its out and put them on the different hardware and software and peripheral devices. You could split them up into different groups. You've got this pile over here, hardware, this pile over here, software, and so on. You might want to create a Minecraft of a hardware. So in Minecraft, you might build a hardware like a mouse or a keyboard. You could even do a Google slide where you have hardware for a few slides, software for a couple of slides, and so on. There's many options you can do with this in the 3-4 unit. Start with the pre-assessment. Hello, so this assessment is for the 3-4 students. It's a pre and post assessment focusing on hardware and software. What you have to do, tell me what you know about a computer and its devices. So number 1, draw and or write a variety of digital systems including their names, and this can be done digitally as a doc. Number 2, label all the digital systems as hardware and software, or it could be just a H and an S for this particular task. Number 3, connect to this image or the doc a variety of peripheral devices and label their names next to them. It's important to get the correct names because that's part of the assessment. And those that do really well in this task will be the ones that can add a lot of detail to the assessment. Now, the next step after the assessment. For those that are a bit more advanced, you might want them to maybe put a slide together on what is a hardware. So like it could be some photos of hardware, and then the other slide could be photos of software and so on. So it feels like you can take this lesson as far or as little as you need based on your students' abilities. To extend your students in this particular unit, you could do it through Minecraft Education or Tinkercad like I've done here. So this is just an example. So I'm going to click on this mouse that I've done here and then go into Tinker this. And you can see, just wait for it to load, loading. And you can see what I've done here is I've created a mouse to help sort of reinforce that idea of what hardware is. So I've created my own mouse, and it's made to look like a mouse. It's got the eyes, which are the clicking parts and so on. And you can see it from like all different angles on this particular program. That's why I really like Tinkercad. Present your work as a Google slide. All right, so a great way to present your hardware and software information can be through a Google slide. So click on the 9 dots in the corner here and then look for the word slides. So that's the yellow box there. So click on that and just wait for it to load. And then you've got sort of like the home page here, and then you go to the word blank presentation, which is the little plus symbol. Wait for that to load. Now you've got a completely blank template, so that's why it's in white. So the first thing you might do is change the color. So right click and go to change background. You could choose an image or you could just change it to a color. So I'm just going to make it orange and then click done. All right, so you got the background there. Let's change the title. So let's, for this example, call the title Hello and just type that in. And then what I've done is I've prepared one a little bit earlier with all the information. So here you go. You got the hardware for the first slide. And the next slide, you'll have all the different types of hardware. And then next slide for that is software. And this is very basic, so you can do better than this. And this is some software examples. Okay, hope this helps. And you might want to even get some pictures of the different software programs, like a Microsoft symbol, or it could be a Google Earth symbol, something that sort of they can identify as the software. And with the hardware, you can actually let them sort of play with it. So let them play with the keyboard. And if you've got a spare one at home that's old, maybe let them pull apart to get an idea of how does a keyboard work. So they've got an idea of how that hardware actually functions on a day-to-day basis. This is a couple of good websites that can be used for examples of software. Make sure you present some posters of software, as well as peripheral devices, which you can get off Twinkle, and any other hardware devices around your classroom. Finish with the post assessment.